Hi friends, it's Mari Clarke here for the Hip Kit Club. I'm going to be creating a 12 by 12 layout today for you using the beautiful December 2021 hip kits. They are absolutely stunning. This is the inspiration for my project today. This is the January mood board, and specifically really going for that watercolor tree image that was in the lower right hand corner. I'm going to do a little bit of watercoloring here for you, just using some inks from my stash. Some of these are from past color kits. This is Catherine Pooler Hot Tub. You can actually use any type of water-based medium for this technique. You can use your Lindy's Stamp Gang Magicals. You could use your shimmers stash, your paints from past color kits that have shimmers, all kinds of different mediums that you have that are watercolor based, and you can just water those down and just create these little blobs that look like trees, basically is what I'm doing. So I'm going to take you through this process. I'm going to put a little bit of music on here in a minute so that you can watch as I create these different images here on my white cardstock here from my kit. And I just really love how these sweet little trees turned out for the background for my layout here. So just adding a little pop of dark pink for some really pretty vibrant color here. And here we go with the rest of this watercolor process. So now we have those trees all painted. What I want to do is add some details with branches and trunks to the trees. I'm using that mood board inspiration again, just to help me kind of visualize what I want each one of these different trees to look like. And I'm using just a fine line black pen from my stash to add these details in. So you're just going to see me trying to make each tree look slightly unique, but I definitely am using the inspiration from the mood board to help me out with this process to create this really fun background. I just think these trees look so sweet, and this is just a really super easy process for creating any type of background that you might want for a project. So just really, really super fun. I love using a mood board for inspiration for my projects in my craft space, that's for sure. And I love how the colors that I chose go really nicely with the colors that are in the December kit, which obviously the colors that are in that mood board are just perfect for the December 2021 hip kits. Now, what I've done is I've taken a picture. This is a picture of my mom and I. One of the prompts for my project today was create a layout with a childhood memory in mind. And this is a picture of my mom and I having coffee together, and some of the different little die cut pieces and such are just perfect for this photo too. Now, this is one of the gorgeous pattern papers from the December kit. It's one of my favorite papers and I hadn't used it yet, so I definitely wanted to get it in on this layout today. I'm going to create a little bit of sort of like a wavy border at the bottom, almost kind of looking like, I was thinking of like a little hillside below my trees, just to kind of keep it all sort of like, I don't know, nature themed sort of, even though the photo is not nature based, but I just thought that it was really cute with the mood board ideas. So I'm just going to go ahead and roll up the edges of those that paper and distress it just slightly. I'll trim that off, and then that will form the bottom portion of my project. The interesting part of creating a layout with a watercolor background like this is sometimes it can be sort of interesting and a little bit of a challenge to figure out what you're going to do with the rest of the layout. I didn't want to cover any of those trees up really with any of the rest of the details, because I think that they're just really fun and just create that really cool background. So I wanted to try to keep the focus of the rest of the layout down at the bottom. So I've got that pattern paper added to the bottom of the layout. I just trimmed away a little bit of my white cardstock at the top. You can just see I'm distressing it with my scissors. And I'm going to now just take my patterned paper again, that beautiful floral paper. I'm going to use some of the pieces that I ripped off of the edge there so that those don't go to waste. I'm going to use those as a backing for this little tearaway spot at the top of the project. So this is perfect. I'm just going to add that into the top. I'll add some adhesive onto that and add that to the top of my project. I'll just trim off the excess, and I'm going to use some of the cardstock from the cardstock kit to back my paper. My white cardstock was trimmed down to 11 by 11, the paper that I used to do the watercoloring on. So, and then I've also trimmed the navy cardstock down to 11.5 by 11.5, or 11.5 square, I should say. And so now you can just see how that's going to fit nicely on that really pretty light blue cardstock. So I've got it double matted. And now I'm just going to start to add some different little bits of ephemera from the die cut packs from the December kits. And so I really love that little tag. I thought that was super cute. I'm just showing you I added some sewing on here as well. And now I'm going to start to add things back in. So that little tag, I really wanted to keep that. It says document this, and that little piece that says home on it. I can't remember if I used that piece or not, but I guess we'll see as I go here. Really love this one that says cookies and cocoa, I think, or something like that. But I just thought it was really perfect for this photo. Some of the details of the photo obviously get cut off with that frame because I used that chipboard frame around it. But when I do the journaling on the layout, I definitely will include what was happening in this photo. I often don't include my journaling before I take photographs just because I often don't want to share that with the public when I add personal journaling onto my project. But there's tons of space on this layout to add the story for sure. So here you can just see I'm just going into the die cut pieces. I have them spread out over to the right of my layout, and I'm just adding in different shapes and textures and that sort of thing. And when I add them to my photo layers or around my photo, I add them with dimensional adhesive here and there just to make them that nice layered, give them that nice layered effect. Now I'm going to use the smaller puffy alphas from the December kits, and I'm going to put my title on here. The title is going to be Me and Mom. I love how the navy pops off the white background. I just think it's really nice. I'm just loosely putting them on there for now, and then I'll just take my craft pick and move them around to exactly where I want them on the project. You'll see that when we have this little transition here. I'm using the little enamel dots from the November kit. I love these enamel dots. I've used them so much on my winter layouts just because they're so shiny and they're just that really pretty silver. So I love these so much. I'm adding them to the centers of lots of the ephemera that I've used on the project. And I just think that they finish off the layout so perfectly. I had so much fun creating this. I love using a mood board to be inspired for a project, and the mood board that I used here is just absolutely stunning. And if you forget what it looks like, you can go back to the beginning of the video, or you can also see it on the Facebook page at Hip Kits on Facebook. I think it's probably also on the website, but I'm not 100% sure. But you can pause the video at the beginning to take a look at that mood board again. It is absolutely stunning. Now I'm just using some of the chipboard and some of the other little elements to finish off. And here's a close-up of my layout now that it's all finished. I hope you enjoyed this, and I love my hip kits. I think you will too. Have an amazing day, friends. Bye-bye.